Innovation and design thinking. Multiple choice questions, MCQ, with answers. Model question paper 2. By J. Babu. The final step in the design process is to A. Test. B. Define. C. Ideate. D. Empathize. Answer. A. Test. Explanation. Stages of design thinking in the order are 1. Empathize. 2. Define. 3. Ideate. 4. Prototype. 5. Test. The final step is test. 2. During which stage would you consult experts to learn more about the areas of concern and to gain an understanding of other people's experiences? Prototype. Define. Ideate. Empathize. Answer. D. Empathize. Explanation. Empathy is an intentional attempt to understand and uncover the real unspoken feelings, experiences, and needs of the users. Hence, this stage is Empathize stage. 3. During which stage would you gather information about people's needs and motivations? Prototype. Define. Ideate. Empathize. Answer. D. Empathize. Explanation. Empathy is an intentional attempt to understand and uncover the real unspoken needs of the users. This is possible only when you encourage the person to talk about experiences and ask follow-up questions to get more information about people's needs and motivations. 4. The first step in the design process is to test, define, ideate, empathize. Answer. D. Empathize. Explanation. Stages of design thinking in the order are 1. Empathize. 2. Define. 3. Ideate. 4. Prototype. 5. Test. The first step is empathize. 5. You would interview people to gain an understanding of how they feel during the stage of design thinking. Test. Define. Ideate. Empathize. Answer. D. Empathize. Explanation. Empathy is an intentional attempt to understand and uncover the real unspoken feelings, experiences, and needs of the users. Hence, this stage is Empathize stage. 6. What happens in the test stage of design thinking? You conduct a written test of your design team. You allow consumers to test a product or service. You engage in internal testing with employees. You test products designed by competitors. Answer. B. You allow consumers to test a product or service. Explanation. In the test stage, we will allow consumers to test a product or service to get their feedback for further refinement and improvement. 7. Collecting is an important portion of testing a prototype in the test stage of design thinking. Pictures, money, feedback, emails. Answer. C. Feedback. Explanation. In the test stage, we will allow consumers to test a prototype to get their feedback for further refinement and improvement. 8. Design thinking is thinking about design. Designing ways in which people think. Asking users to solve problems. Defining, framing, and solving problems from users' perspectives. Answer. D. Defining, framing, and solving problems from users' perspectives. Explanation. Design thinking is a more generic and open-ended framework to solve human problems by defining, framing, and solving the problems from users' perspectives. 9. What are the steps of design thinking process? A. Understand, draw, ideate, create, test. B. Empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test. C. Empathize, design, implement, produce, test. D. Understand, define, ideate, produce, try. Answer. B. Empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test. Explanation. The stages of design thinking are empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test. 10. Which of the below firm is associated the most with design thinking? IKEA, IDEO, idea, IKE. Answer. B. IDEO. Explanation. Innovation Design Engineering Organization, IDEO, is a design and consulting firm with offices in the US, England, Germany, Japan, and China is associated most with design thinking. It was founded in Palo Alto, California, in 1991. Tim Brown is the founder of IDEO. 11. Design thinking typically helps in innovation, data analytics, financial planning, operational efficiency. Answer. A. Innovation. Explanation. Design thinking yields innovation by combining the three important components that are 1. Human desirability, 2. Technical feasibility, and 3. Economic viability. 12. Which of the below is incorrect? PepsiCo has turned design thinking into its strategy. Airbnb avoided bankruptcy and turned profitable using design thinking. Google has a 3-step process to bring about new innovations. All of the above are correct. Answer. A. All of the above are correct. Explanation. All of the above firms used design thinking concepts to solve their organization problems. 13. Design thinking is a linear process. True. False. Answer. B. False. Explanation. See the figure. Design thinking is a nonlinear process. 14. Which of the following is not one of the profiles of design thinkers? Empathy, simplicity, integrative thinking, optimism, experimentalism. Answer. B. Simplicity. Explanation. The 5 dimensions of design thinkers are optimism, open your mind to reveal untapped potential. Empathy, see the world through the eyes of others. Critical thinking, critique your design thinking. Curiosity or experimentalism, never stop exploring new frontiers in your mind. Collaborate, don't just connect things, connect with people. 15. Majority of the top executives regard it as one of the top 3 leadership qualities: empathy, creativity, humility, qualifications, experience. Answer. A. Empathy. Explanation. Empathy is one of the top 3 leadership qualities. Leaders should develop empathy with their followers. Unfortunately, most leaders follow a dictatorial style and neglect empathy altogether. Due to this, they fail to make a closer connection with their followers. Understanding the problems of your followers and feeling their pain is the first step to become an effective leader. 16. Which of the following is right? A. Design sensibilities are a combination of design features, qualities, and aesthetics. B. Empathy is to see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. C. Design sensibilities are complex feelings such as amenity, pleasantness, comfort, pleasure, etc. D. Empathy is seeing with your own eye, hearing with your own ear, and feeling the pain with your own heart. E. A and D. Answer. E. A and D. Explanation. Design sensibilities includes design features, qualities, and aesthetics. Empathy is an intentional attempt to understand and uncover the real unspoken needs of the users. To uncover the true needs of user, designer should see his own eyes, hear with his own ears, and feel the pain with his own heart. 17. Identify the correct statement. To derive the power of design thinking, individuals, teams, and organizations must have a leap of faith about the existence of a solution. Leap of Faith is the page in the Manual of Design Thinking containing the core philosophy about design thinking. Design thinking presupposes that some people are inherently creative and become successful in creative product development. The team should have at least one such person. None of the above. Answer A. To derive the power of design thinking, individuals, teams, and organizations must have a leap of faith about the existence of a solution. Explanation. Design thinking is a framework or a tool for problem solving, ideally for dealing with unknown or ill-defined problems. Hence, to derive the power of design thinking, individuals, teams, and organizations must have a leap of faith about the existence of a solution. 18. Which of the following statements is correct? Design thinking is convergence-divergence process. Design thinking is a linear process of product development that compulsorily involves validation at the end of the product development. Design thinking is regarded as a lean startup process. Design thinking is predominantly a product development process and is not very suitable for service innovation. Design thinking follows the agile process of product development. Answer A. Design thinking is convergence-divergence process. Explanation. During the ideation stage, design thinkers think differently and generates as many ideas as possible to solve a problem, which is divergent thinking. During the prototype stage, they filter the better ideas that satisfies the three important components of innovation that are human desirability, technical feasibility, and financial viability, and narrow down better ideas, which is convergent thinking. 19. A college is redesigning its website. Current students are the main users of the website. Which one of the below elements should definitely be on the website? College rules and regulations. Information on faculty members. Information about courses. Alumni details. Answer. C. Information about courses. Explanation. The main purpose of the students' parents, users, view the college website primarily to know about the courses offered by the college. Other information is secondary for the users. 20. In design, where does the information used to put together a problem statement come from? The design stage. The define stage. The empathize stage. The testing stage. Answer. B. The define stage. Explanation. In define stage, the information collected during the empathize stage is put together as a problem statement. 21. What is wrong with this product design? The color is too bright. It does not function as a chair should. It will not be comfortable for the user. The design is too unstable. Answer. C. It will not be comfortable for the user. Explanation. See the figure. It is not comfortable to sit on this chair. 22. What step of the design process did they miss? Manufacturing. Research. Prototyping and testing. Design brief. Answer. C. Prototyping and testing. Explanation. See the figure. This design is not proper as it fails in getting the feedback from the users. This may be because of this design misses the important steps of design process, that is prototyping and testing. 23. What question did the designers forget to ask? How many urinals are needed? How much space is needed per person? What will the toilet look like once the floor plan is complete? Where do they go? Answer. B. How much space is needed per person? Explanation. See the figure, the space is not sufficient for using both urinals at a time for 2 persons. 24. Which is not a good interview strategy for the empathy step? Encourage the person to talk about experiences. Encourage short answers that get right to the point. Ask follow-up questions to get more information. Try to uncover needs people may or may not be aware of. Answer. B. Encourage short answers that get right to the point. Explanation. Empathy is an intentional attempt to understand and uncover the real unspoken needs of the users. This is possible only when you encourage the person to talk about experiences and ask follow-up questions to get more information. When you encourage short answers that get right to the point, that will not give an opportunity to get more information and insights about the true need of users. 25. Which is not an aspect of the defined step of design thinking? Create a composite user to give perspective to the solution. Develop a point of view statement to state user's need. Define as many possible solutions to the problem as possible. Recognize a challenge with a how might we question. Answer. C. Define as many possible solutions to the problem as possible. Explanation. In the define stage or step, we will not define the solutions to the problem. Solutions for the problems are generated in ideation stage but not in defining stage. 26. At what step do you want to complete the POV point of view? Empathy. B. Prototype. C. Define. D. Ideate. Answer. C. Define. Explanation. In the define, we want to complete the POV point of view of the customer regarding the product or service. 27. Prototype should only be demonstrated and tested within the team. True. False. Answer. B. False. Explanation. Prototype should tested in the presence of all the stakeholders, design team, representatives from funding agencies, management and the customer. The main focus on customer to receive their feedback about the prototype for further refinement and improvement. 28. The initial design brief is provided by designer. B. User. C. Both of them. D. Client. E. None of them. Answer. C. Both of them. A and B. Explanation. An initial design brief is a document for a design project developed by a person or team, the designer or design team, in consultation with the client customer. Design team works with the client to extract maximum and accurate critical information about the requirements. As a result, it helps the designers come up with the best design to achieve the desired results from the project. 29. When defining a problem, your problem statement should include a solution. True. False. Answer. B. False. Explanation. In the defining a problem should include only the problem and should not include a solution. In ideation stage, design team members present the possible solutions to the problem. 30. True or false? Design thinking can be applied in other professions? True. False. Answer. A. True. Explanation. Design thinking principles can be applied in other professions. 31. Rashmi is creating a new product for architectural college students. She takes a design thinking approach. Her first step is addressing who she is creating the product for, and conducts research on understanding the market. What is this step in the design thinking process? Define. B. Ideate. C. Empathize. D. Prototype. Answer. C. Empathize. Explanation. Empathize is the first step in design thinking approach to understand the user's or market true needs. 32 is prototyping a step in the design thinking process? True. False. Answer. A. True. Explanation. Stages or steps of design thinking in the order are 1. Empathize. 2. Define. 3. Ideate. 4. Prototype. 5. Test. Hence, prototyping is a step in design thinking process. 33. What element of user experience design would the design strategy fall under? Interaction design. Experience strategy. User research. Information architecture. Answer. B. Experience strategy. User experience design is the design strategy fall under experience strategy. 34. Taking into account the look and feel of a product and its presentation is user experience design? True. False. Answer. B. False. Explanation. The user interface, UI, is literally what the user sees and interacts within the product. UI can also sometimes be shorthand for the look and feel of a product. The user experience includes everything an end user does related to the product, including how it fits into their overall workflow and the steps before and after the product is actually in use. Additionally, the user experience covers how those interactions will change over time as the customer's usage evolves and the product and company change. 35. No alterations are to be made in the design after testing phase. A. True. B. False. Answer. B. False. Explanation. During the test phase, the prototype is tested in the presence of user to get their feedback for further refinement and improvements. Hence, alterations may be possible after the testing phase. 36. User persons are created during which phase of design process? Design stage. Discover stage. Develop stage. None of the above. Answer. A. Design stage. Explanation. The research that goes into forming user personas usually happens early in the design process. In the design thinking process, designers often start creating personas during the second phase of design, that is define phase. 37. What helps the design team and client to visualize and handle the design concept? Define. B. Ideate. C. Empathize. D. Prototype. Answer. D. Prototype. Explanation. A prototype is a model that all the stakeholders of the product or service, including the end users or client, can visualize and handle the design concept and give their feedback. 38. Design brief given by the client be modified or rewritten? True. False. Answer. A. True. Explanation. Design brief given by the client be modified or rewritten. Sometimes the client may not brief completely about their needs or problems. It is the duty of design thinker to uncover the true needs of the client. 39. The ultimate goal of design thinking is to help you design better. A. Services. B. Products. C. Experiences. D. All of above. Answer. D. All of above. Explanation. Design thinking can be applied to help to design better for products, services and experiences. 40. Design thinking typically provides a solution based to problem solving. True. False. Answer. A. True. Explanation. Design thinking is a framework or a tool for a solution-based problem solving, ideally for dealing with unknown or ill-defined problems. Hence, it is effective tool for solving multifaceted or multidimensional and complex problems of organizations. 41. In the delivery phase we iterate. B. Test. C. Prototype. D. All of above. Answer. C. All of above. Explanation. During the delivery phase we test the prototype. We may get new ideas. Design thinkers can go iteration and go for a new or revised prototype. Hence, design thinking is a nonlinear complex problem. 42. Design thinking has nothing to do with graphic design, nothing to do with architectural design, very little to do with UI and UX design, everything to do with products that succeed. Answer. D. Everything to do with products that succeed. Explanation. For design thinking, everything to do with the products that succeed. 43. What is the way to narrow down the thoughts to reach at the final solution? Convergent thinking. Divergent thinking. None of them. Both of them. Answer. A. Convergent thinking. Explanation. With the convergent thinking, one can narrow down the thoughts or ideas to reach at the final solution. 44. Empathy is crucial because it allows design thinkers to set aside their assumptions about the world to gain insight into users and their needs. True/false? Answer. A. True. Explanation. Empathy is the first and crucial phase of the design thinking process. It is the ability to understand people and see the world through people's eyes, and it is to step in people's shoes to feel what they feel. It is an intentional attempt to keep aside their preconceived notions and assumptions, understand and uncover the real unspoken needs to truly resonate with the users. 45. What is the key in any design thinking process? Empathy. Defining the problem. Designing the solution. None of these. Answer. B. Defining the problem. Explanation. The key in any design thinking process is defining the problem. 46. The goal of the prototype phase is to understand what component of your idea didn't work. To understand what component of your idea work. Both of them. None of them. Answer. C. Both of them. Explanation. In prototype phase, we will develop the prototypes based on the different ideas that are generated during the ideation phase. Some of the ideas will fail and some may give success. We will understand what component of idea did not work and what component of idea worked. 47. The winning design is typically that which most closely meets the design brief and need not necessarily adhere to budget and timeline. A. True. B. False. Answer. B. False. Explanation. Winning design should satisfy the three components of innovation. They are user desirability, technical feasibility, financial viability. Another important consideration is time. You should launch your product into market before your competitor. Budget and timeline are also necessary. 48. A sitemap is a high-level diagram portraying the general structure and architecture of the website. A. True. B. False. Answer. A. True. Explanation. A sitemap is a high-level diagram portraying the general structure and architecture of the website. The objective of a sitemap is to enable clearly identify the pages, various sections, and navigation items that will make up the site. 49. MVP stands for Most Viable Product. Maximum Viable Product. Minimum Viable Product. None of above. Answer. C. Minimum Viable Product. Explanation. Main concept in design thinking while prototyping is failurely and fail cheap. This means use minimum resources are to be used during the prototyping, yet the product should satisfy the user's needs. Thus the prototyping is named alternatively as minimum viable product (MVP). 50 being an experimental phase, continuous iterations can take place here. Which phase it refers to? Define. Empathize. Prototype. None of them. Answer. C. Prototype. Explanation. In prototype phase we will develop the prototypes based on the different ideas that are generated during the ideation phase. We will improve the design with continuous iterations of the good ideas that are working for the improvement. Thanks for watching. Comment for any suggestions. Like, share and subscribe for more model question papers.